gifts to others, all the above or none of the above? I would say all.
All.
When you don't have enough money to pay all your bills on time, what do? Prioritize your bills? Or ignore the people you owe until you're able to pay.
Rob Peter to pay Paul.
So that's today, that's what we're going to talk about. So we're going to make a monthly spending and savings plan. A lot of people call it a budget, but we're going to call it a spending and savings plan. We're going to put it into action. So we need to use our spending and savings plan to guide how we use our money. If we don't know what we're going to do with it, we're going to overspend. And in the month, we're going to be broke. So, start off with, you got to compare your income versus your expenses. We're also going to understand where our money is going. It will surprise you, and I've said this probably every month. If you write down where your money is going, it will surprise how much you're spending at different places. And it kind of makes me sick how much I spend at some places, and I kind of want to ignore it. But by doing that, we can make adjustments. So everybody knows your income is the money you receive, expenses how you use it, what goes out. So we need to apply it. So if you look at page 4 of your guide, you'll have this. First, you got to use your net income. We talked last month about gross income and net income. The net income is what we bring home. So that's the money we actually have out of our paycheck that we can spend. Now, if you do work, contract work, they don't withhold taxes, whatever, we'll get to that in a little bit. But our net income is what we have actually to spend. Then our expenses, exactly what everything we have to go out, our regular monthly expenses. So we can compare my total net income and my total expenses. So on that form, you fill it out with your past monthly amount. Because we got to kind of have a bar set against, right? How much, we can't just pull numbers out of the air. We know what our house note is, our rent. We can kind of gauge what our electric bill and water bill is going to be, average it out. Our car note, insurance, stuff of that nature. But some stuff is kind of up and down. Groceries, kids' activities, all that's kind of. But you can put it in there for last month or last few months, average it out. Then you'll have a good base to start with. So once we do that, we need to compare what's our total net income versus our total expenses. Is it positive or negative? You might have to get some of your monthly amounts if you receive income or pay expenses on a schedule other than monthly income. Like if you pay your homeowner's insurance quarterly, just take that last quarter bill, divide by 3, yearly, divide by 12. Something you don't pay regularly, but you pay quarterly or biannually or annually. So, we need to compare when it comes out. So we have the net income, expenses, and a comparison. Complete the past monthly, complete the planned monthly amount by gauging from your past and compare. If you need to, this is where we make changes before we start spending. So, if the difference between your net income and your total expenses is 0, it means you equal out. You're there. If it's positive, you're in good shape. More income than expenses. You ready for that something to happen? You ready in case water heater goes out? Anything of that nature. Negative, we have a problem. We got more expenses than we have income coming in. So that's when we start looking about what we can cut. Page 9 of your guide is where it says making a spending and savings plan. You can try it. Now, a lot of this stuff y'all can do at home. I'm not sitting here to go through a classroom and make it out. I know y'all got better things to do on Saturday morning. Alright. So it's simple, you know how to do it, how to put it on the table. So, daily, record your saving and sharing and spending. Save your receipts is a good first step. When you go to Walmart, McDonald's, Super One, anywhere, put those receipts back. Then daily you can keep them in your register, keep them on your spending plan. That way you'll have a good, precise record. Collect your change, change adds up. It in a heartbeat. And that don't go as far as it did, but it still adds up. Any other ideas? There's also plans for a weekly. Y'all hear if you ever listen to Dave Ramsey, he's always prepared because once a year, two things are certain, death and taxes. You're going to have to pay taxes on that money. So you have a CPA talk to them about what you need to be setting aside. Because you don't want to spend your tax money. We work hourly jobs or salary jobs that they pay taxes out. In essence, we're doing that every month or every paycheck. They're putting that money back for us to the government instead of us taking it out. Increasing your income. That can help cover expenses and save or share. Share is like giving something to somebody. I'm going to go back. One thing we said, don't count money in your net income or your monthly income as that somebody gives you a gift, because that's a one-time thing. That's not something you count on. You need to count on the money that you know you're going to get. Not money you might get from a job. Money you know you've got coming. You're going to get. If you get in a bind, one thing you can do is always sell something. Occasionally a few garage sales. If it gets down to it, part-time, second job. Long term, you can look for a higher paying job. Another thing you can do, and this kind of fits in with the same kind of part-time job. I know Rochelle does a lot of this. Rochelle wears a lot of hats. And she has a lot of business, a lot of entities. And I think a lot of y'all do too. And that's just a way to increase what you do. There's a lot of people with 9 to 5 jobs that have side gigs too. And there's nothing wrong with it. This is where it gets close. Our needs and our wants. I have 2 girls. A 12-year-old always needs a lot of stuff. But it really goes in the wants column. Some kind of leggings from Aerie is what I've been hearing the last 3 days. And I think something like Amazon and Sam's online order makes our wants become needs pretty quick. Because I was ordering some needs this morning from Sam's, but I also started looking at some guide. You can try adjusting with that, your scenario. So your guide has some blank forms y'all can go in and fill out, apply to your own life, and just put it to work. So you can use it as a guide how to use your money. Page 18, what money is short? Don't have anything to get rid of real quick. So what we're going to do? First, we prioritize which bills are paid first when money is short. Food, shelter, and medicine. That's where I go. First thing I do every month is I pay my house note. I'm gonna sleep for at least one more month. Life does happen. And I tell you, as a lender, I know what happens. And I expect it to happen to every one of my customers. And there's no way around it, life happens. So even when you're careful, money can run short. It's nothing to be ashamed of, it just happens. To be ashamed of is when it happens every month. But just outside circumstance you cannot control happens. That's what happens. So what can you do? Increase your income, if possible. Decrease some expenses, cut out some stuff that you can do without that month. This is my favorite. Contact your creditor. Somebody gets in a bind. The thing that I will do more for them if they contact me. The ones I have to call that don't answer is the ones I get on collections a whole lot quicker. Contact your creditors. There are steps we can take to, hey, say you have a monthly note. If the collateral's okay, everything's okay. If it's just a one-time circumstance, not an every month circumstance, or every other month, or every 2 months, hey, let's just do an extension. Let's just pay the interest. That saves a little bit of money that month. Just pay the interest, let's move on. Let's make life keep going for you. Let's help. But please, contact your loan officer. They will appreciate it a lot more. Reach out for help, friends and family. They'll always help. And I always prioritize what to pay first. But if you can ever help, after you take care of your food, shelter, and medicine, don't ever let a note get past 30 days, because we do not want to hurt our credit score. Because that's going to affect negatively on your credit score. It's going to take years for it to fall off, and in the long run, you're going to pay more for stuff. Because your credit score is lower, your interest rate's going to be higher, and you get a loan next time. Even some insurance companies pull credit for your 10-day grace period before you get a late fee. Well, what if you know you've got your monies coming in, your note's due on the 1st, say you know your money's not coming in till the 15th, but you know it is? Pay the 15th. It's fine. You're going to incur a small late fee, but that's better than any other circumstance. Pay attention to your consequences. Anything that prevents you from earning income, don't get messed up. Don't jeopardize your shelter, as we've said, or impact your health. And nothing that could result in the loss of your assets, which would be you didn't pay a loan back, basically. So again, y'all have a place to look at it, to prioritize your expenses.